Okay. Thank you so much for joining today's technical council meeting. Today is August 17th. Today's meeting is focused on the features, first and foremost. Joe is on vacation, so I'm going to be running the today's meeting, facilitating, I should say, excuse me, and then also will help facilitating the upcoming workshops this Friday, which, just a quick reminder, are being moved to start at 9 a.m. Central. So it's earlier than we did previous weeks, but not compared to last week. 9 a.m. Central for 2 hours is what we're scheduling. And I think the first topic on our agenda is just to confirm the topics for the upcoming workshops. The two that are being proposed right now is the continuation what we're going to be doing today, which is continue working on the multi-WASM language ecosystem feature. And we can continue working on that on Friday as well. It sounds like there was more, that it's a longer discussion. And the second topic for the second hour of the Friday's workshop, the proposed topic is a standard topic, and continue working with WebAssembly runtime. Is that sound good from your perspective, or do you see any other priorities that need to take place in terms of the workshops aside from these two that we have proposed?
I think we should have data serialization instead of WebAssembly runtime, and push it forward and complete it. It just has 2 sections left, and I think we can complete in next workshop.
So
Maybe.
We
What do you
could
think?
replace the multi-WASM language maybe with data translation.
Yeah, we can replace any of those with data translation.
Yeah, I don't see a point in starting yet another standard if we already have two in progress.
So just.
But what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Also, guys, I was thinking, since currently, yeah, the Python clients, it's also being built. Probably not this week, but next week. Would it make sense to you that we start with, yeah, client standardization, let's say, or not just yet?
I think we shouldn't start it yet, because we will find a lot of things once we have Python client, and after that we should standardize. So I think we should still need to see what can we basically standardize, right? It's better to have two client when we standardize instead of just relying on one client.
I would even go a step further and say 3 clients. Just we don't have to stick by it, but just in general, when you're trying to do something in a generic way, that supports an arbitrary number of things, you normally wait for at least 3 of examples to try to see what's common.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but some community or some developers really want standards, as we have seen, with protocol labs, they are very standard focused. And if we delay the creation of standard, uh, it can be difficult to have this kind of developers part of our community.
And you
True.
mentioned,
Sorry. Go ahead, Anton.
we just mentioned before that writing the standard, even if it will be written later, could help with design of the implementations.
What do you mean?
Well, when we are writing the standard, we are thinking.
Oh, yeah, got it. Yeah, sure. I mean, we can always rework it and things like that. As far as protocol labs starting or needing something like that, I mean, they do not need the JS client technically, nor the Python client. They're more into the Go client, so it wouldn't help there that much. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of 50-50.
Instead of test-driven development, we can have standard-driven development, right?
I hate that as an idea. I mean, we can explore it definitely, but yeah, it's much easier to throw a bunch of code, see if it even works, and then refactor, and then see what's common and standardized.
Yep, makes sense.
If it's something a lot simpler, then yeah, I'd say that.
All right, so
I
just to
agree on.
sorry to interrupt. So what do we think of the Friday then? Do we, uh, do we want to continue? We're going to start right now in a couple of minutes with the multi-WASM language ecosystem feature. Do you think we'll be able to complete it today, or should we continue on Friday?
Should we continue with the Drint translation stuff?
This
So
is
we
a
can try
feature.
to finish it up. Oh, this is a feature. Okay.
This is the feature, right? So we can try to finish that up on Friday as well. And then let's maybe continue working with WebAssembly runtime standard as well, since we made a lot of progress on that over the past couple of weeks.
I mean, I'd rather we finish the data translation. It's in a much more finished state than the runtime.
You want to do translation?
As far as yeah, I think Niraj also suggested that. So.
Yeah, I agree. Like it is, yeah, it is much more finished, and I think we would be able to have initial feedback soon with data translation than the WebAssembly runtime, because I think in WebAssembly runtime there are a lot more work to do.
Don Nestor's out, and it'd be great to have him for both data translation and runtime. We didn't start on the multi-WASM language feature, right?
I think we did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll do a data translation and multi-WASM language. And WebAssembly runtime will go to another week. Sounds about right? All right.
Sounds good.
Okay, that sounds good. Let me just save this file. In terms of some roadmap planning for the features, just coming out of the last dowsing that we had on Thursday last week. First of all, Yuri, thank you so much for doing the Magic Link presentation. I think that was awesome. But also, I think one of the notes that I took from the dowsing is that we might want to do another new feature request that we want to plan for related to Magic Links. Did I understand that correctly? I didn't want to interrupt during your demo, but I think Jordan mentioned that we should go ahead. We should start up a standard or a feature added to our technical console agenda. Do you remember that?
Uh, I kind of vaguely remember we could add it, but I'm also meeting with Jordan and Ori tomorrow for the product side of this, so I can have more updates for the next council meeting.
Okay, so I'll just leave it. Let's leave it off for now. Let's not take any action on it. But if you could maybe follow up with me or Joe and let us know if we want to go ahead and add another feature or standard to the list, we'll add it to the project, and then we can prioritize that accordingly. But just make sure that we add it properly to the project and prioritize it.
Yeah, if something comes up, I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. Just quick status update. Do obviously we're gonna jump into the multi-WASM language ecosystem feature definition right now, but just wanted to get a quick status of where we're at right now. How much time do you think we need to allocate to complete this? Do we think that today and Friday session will be sufficient, or do we plan on additional What do you guys just maybe can talk a little bit about where we stand with this one right now?
Yeah, shouldn't we have Jordan for that? I think Jordan was leading this and Nestor. Yeah, we don't have any of those.
So does it make sense to do this today then for the ecosystem feature if Jordan and Nestor are not here? I know Nestor is I think out this whole week, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to maybe
Yeah, we can skip it for now.
okay. Well, I will
Maybe
still
we can.
go ahead. Mhm.
Sorry, yeah. Maybe we can make progress in data translation because I and Yuri is familiar with that.
Yeah, if you're familiar enough with the extension types, then yeah, because I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, I am familiar with that.
Awesome.
So maybe it doesn't make sense to do a WASM language. Do we want to maybe start another feature today? Manifest dependencies. What's going or let's take a look at what we've got here for features.
Um, wait. Um, I understood wrong, or yeah, did Niraj said that we should do today data translation?
Correct.
Well, data
Yeah, I guess we
translation is a
should.
we can switch to standards if you like. That's perfectly fine. And we're I think hoping to kind of
We could also sorry.
go ahead. Yuri, what were you gonna say?
Oh, sorry. We could also find another feature since this is a feature console today. Feature meeting.
Yeah, it's whatever you'd like.
I mean, I'm fine with both. I'm fine with both. So
What would be your
can
preference?
someone break the tie?
Here's the list of features that's currently defined as critical. So this one's good. Implementation complete. This is ready for roadmap. This one we just discussed. Capacity-based security. We can start on that.
I
It
would
could
Manifest.
be
say,
that one, or manifest.
yeah, manifest dependency or fixed URI for plugin. I think both of them are very critical.
So we can, if you like to, we can kick off any one of these two. Um,
Let's do dependencies then.
since Yuri and Niraji are both here and or Jordan is not here today, maybe we should go ahead start with manifest dependencies. What do you guys think?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, let's do that. I will update this. So for the Friday then, let me just confirm. So for Friday, considering that Nestor's not here, maybe it makes sense to hold off on this as well.
Yeah, I think if Jordan will be there, then it's okay.
Oh, that's okay. All right. If not, we can always substitute. If Jordan's not here, we can substitute this with um, what we just said, right? The manifest dependency. Okay.
Yeah.
Cancel the change. All right. So for manifest dependency, let me. I wasn't prepared for this, so give me a second. Let me organize real quick. Let's get a hackmd um, going. Start a new note. Let me make sure that it's got the right. We're gonna do sign in users as always, and read is correct. Um, close this. Don't need this guy. Manifest dependencies. Let's make it a big component here. And as always, we want to start with define description, select priority, select product, select qualities, and then get into the specification. So just a quick outline here on the bottom. Um, Features workshop. Actually, let me do this. Let me give you the link right away.
I could have sworn I written a description for this on one of the earlier calls.
Hmm.
You had that in HackMD somewhere.
If you have
Yeah,
hack,
I had a HackMD, but I also wrote it as part of the GitHub issue. Maybe not.
let's take a look. Huh. Uh,
Nah,
there's
it's
some
just
stuff.
my comment.
So
Yuri has much more spec'd out version of the HackMD.
do you think you
Okay,
can
give me a
find it?
second. I'll try to find it. Yeah,
I'll
give me a minute.
I'll move it to this one. Let me rearrange this so we already have. Okay, we got the node going. I'm posting it in the channel. Okay, so you should have access now to the node. Please confirm.
Yeah, I get access.
You no access? You need to be logged signed in,
No,
but
no,
if
I have access.
okay, good.
So I found, I think, the old HackMD. I'll post it in chat in the thread. But
I'll
I'm not
transfer it.
sure if you changed that one or. I think there was another one.
It was related to package lock or dependency locking.
Okay. I think it's in the Polywrap HackMD. Yep. No, wait. Never mind.
Just copy whatever you have in there into this one if you don't mind. Just we have it all in
Yeah, as
one
soon as
place.
I found it. Wait, is there a standard for this?
For manifest dependencies?
I think
Yeah.
No, I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
It should,
I
yeah.
re- I remember something about Jordan creating a document which you reviewed, but I'm not sure.
Maybe at the end at the bottom,
I'm not seeing. We added
the
deployment.
embedded dependencies. 45.
Oh,
Is that tab? Can you click?
there's no.
Oh, it's just empty.
It's an empty one.
So what's the difference between local dependency and embedded dependencies? Oh yeah, I think embedded dependency is about embedding wrapper dependency in wrapper, maybe. And
Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, it probably is.
and lock
Yeah.
dependency would be what we
What about
want
38?
currently.
That's specific to schemas, right? Package manifest schemas. 38
Yeah.
That's I think different.
might be a raffle. No, okay.
Yeah,
Doesn't look
yeah,
like
I
we have
think
it.
let's focus on feature.
Okay. Well, so it's excuse me, the HackMD link is created and posted, so you guys can go ahead and start jumping in, and we can start writing this up, right? I'll continue sharing if you'd like, or if anybody would like to
Yeah.
drive, you can share.
Sure, I can share. Just give me like 3, 4 more minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Let me update technical console agenda for now so I can have it scheduled. Um, for data translation standard, for Friday, we have all of the participants defined. And then for multi-language ecosystem feature, we also have everybody defined here under the feature request. Okay, I think I have everything I need to create the invitations, which I'll do later. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. So Yuri, just let me know when you're ready. I'll stop sharing.
Will do.
Stop sharing now, actually. Ooh.
Okay, never mind. I didn't find it. But yeah, let's use this one. Okay, so this is or should be probably in the manifest. So let's do it in YAML then.
Should we start with description?
Yeah. Let me just see if there's let me just copy this to have it there in one file for now. So I guess there's two parts for this. There's project manifest dependencies and there's wrap manifest dependencies. And I think there's more need for the project manifest dependencies than there is for wrap manifest dependencies.
Yeah, maybe this would be like in in rep manifest dependency. We also need to like consider the locked dependency and other stuff, right? So
Yeah,
we yeah, but yeah, we can start with like polyrep manifest dependency and then move on to rep dependency.
let me at least write it down.
Do you mean not referencing dependency in the schema?
Uh, Dependencies, not deployment URIs. So just like the name.
Ah, oh yeah. Maybe it would just be importing dependency.
Yeah. Can you even do dependency locking without first doing the static versus dynamic URIs?
Not really. But I think we have one case of static URI, like right? We have IPFS. I
We have an example, but we don't have a concept anywhere.
yeah. But yeah, I think we can once we have like this way of like describing dependency inside rep manifest, right? So even if it is dynamic URI or whatever URI, we will have a way to like use that URI instead of yeah things that is backed into binding.
Yeah, true. I guess we could do dependency locking as a separate feature. I mean,
Yeah,
the same applies for the manifest dependencies.
yeah, I'm not sure like what will happen. Yeah, maybe so when we build, uh, you can like optionally lock dependency, and that would lock. So yeah, it will lock in both bindings and in the rep manifest. So yeah, tool can get the dependencies from rep manifest, while binding will already know that this is lock dependency.
Maybe. I think we need a log file too.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe, or we can just, yeah, maybe we need to have separation of concern, and like instead of rep manifest, we can put all this dependency related stuff in something like rep.log. I don't know.
Sure, but you kind of need, so let's say you have, dApps and you have Ethereum.d. So you can, in schema, you can do something like import whatever from Ethereum, you know,
Yeah, and I think that's what we should do.
but yeah, but then, uh, so if you're doing this, if you want to sort of uh, lock down the dependencies, I guess you could have a log file that does, when you run lock or whatever, or build or install, not sure, you would do IPFS here.
Yeah, but we are compiling polyrep manifest to rep manifest, so we already have one step for that. So yeah,
I
but
mean,
I still think like we can have like lock. I would agree like having a lock is better than baking it into the rep info.
yeah, I mean, it's still in potentially in the wrap info, probably is the log file at least, maybe even the dependency file. I mean, it's the same thing as with, let's say, Node.js packages. So you have a package JSON, it has dependencies, wherever they are. It has a, like a package log file or a yarn log file, but when it gets built, let's see an example. When it gets built, it still has, or it should have an package.js, and I don't think it has a log file, but still, like, if you look at node modules, give me whatever, you know. So this is like our wrap info file.
Yeah, I agree. Like we should have log file in the build artifact.
No, I meant in the project.
In the project. Yeah. So
I mean,
maybe.
wouldn't the build file
I'm not
kind
sure.
of
Like, do we really need a log file in the project?
I mean, same reason with the Node.js packages would need a log file in the project.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we do. Yeah.
and a question, wouldn't the build artifact actually pull from the log file instead of us relying on the build artifact? That just sounds more logical.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't commit the build artifact, so
Yeah,
you can't.
you technically don't want to commit build
Yeah.
artifacts. Yeah.
I guess for us, it's not just about locking dependencies, like just for versioning purposes, but also for resolving dependencies to its end URI. So it's a bit more complicated, I think, than just locking dependencies.
Yeah, and yeah, we also need like versioning.
There's
That's
also
why I think this should probably be like a separate standard.
there's also a
Mm-hmm.
question of are we gonna be explicitly tracking the versions as well? Because I don't know, an IPFS we don't need to necessarily because the IPFS content ID itself is kind of a version, right? But for other hosting, I don't know, if you're hosting it on HTTP, for example, you can't really guarantee a certain that you're getting a certain version. You would have to check for that, wouldn't you?
I mean, same thing as with text records. You can rely on just this for versioning. Like IPFS is more for, I guess, static URIs. Anyways, I don't think we should get into this now because I think we should first have actual versioning, something like with text records. And once we use that for a while, we'll know better about what our requirements are.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. We should first focus on how we define the dependency for
Yeah,
polywrap manipulation.
like I guess just fixing these flaws will be a good start. So should this be like a same file, same manifest file, like similar to package.json, where this is the manifest file, but also has dependencies, dev dependencies, and dependencies, or should we have like a dependencies YAML or something like that? YAML. I think it should probably be in the same manifest, in the project manifest.
I can agree with that, and I'd say that maybe the lock would be somewhere separate.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like it should just stay in polywrap manifest.
Quick question. Would it make sense? Would it make sense to think that currently in our current Polywrap manifest we have the import regex? So would it make sense to say that we in this import regex and adding an attribute called dependencies, let's say for the sake of example, and these yeah, dependencies attribute would support like the same structure of import regex, for example, URI and schema, but on schema instead of supporting file system, will be supporting any URI. Like, yeah, does that make
I
sense?
think, I mean, you asked me what import regex inside the manifest. That's in the
Im-
schema, right?
import redirects.
Oh, redirects. Sorry. Uh, okay, now I have a whole different picture in my mind. So I can you repeat?
No,
Just
yeah, so currently in our Polywrap manifest, let me search for the exact name of the attribute. Give me a
yeah,
please.
it's import redirects. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
perfecto. So with import redirect, yeah, basically what we're doing is fetching a schema from somewhere else locally at this point, right? Exacto. So we can call this that, I mean, this is a dependency definition, but locally, right? Would it make sense to think that this would change instead of import regex, we can say dependencies, let's say, and in schema, instead of only accepting this file system URI, let's say, or a path, that's the correct name, path, we would be supporting any URI, ANS, IPFS, yeah, hence defining the dependencies here and making it available into the schema.graphql definition.
Caesar, just a quick question. Do you mean to replace import redirects or actually just
See,
add? Oh, I'd say like import redirects has its own, I don't know, separate use case in my mind. And having dependencies be another one which looks similar to import redirects, wherein we can then actually, have name the dependency, name its URI, but then the import redirect could also, I don't know, contain the dependencies URI if we need to do some magic like that, if you get me. So
yes.
the
So,
redirect, yeah, would still redirect the dependencies URI as well, but the dependency would be a named dependency now.
hmm, okay, go ahead, Niraj.
Yeah, I just wanted to add like in import redirects, we currently just support like file system redirects. Would it make sense to like also support other redirects like redirect to any other URI? Maybe you have ENS and you want to redirect to IPFS.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. And something that I think it's worth is that Jure, can you please open the current file you have in like one tab, and can you please open the schema that the GraphQL in other one, please, so we can see like both files at the same time? Okay, amazing. So thank you. Uh, schema GraphQL. Okay, can you please move the plug the yeah that manifest into the left, please? Perfecto.
Oh God,
Okay. Yeah,
give
no,
me a second. What's
enough.
happening?
Enough. Okay, cool. So yeah, what I want to yeah, the point that I want to like bring up here is that basically what how this works, from my understanding, is that basically we're defining the URI in this case, let's say fs.polywrap.it, right? And basically it is fetching the schema from the path we mentioned here. Okay, so I don't know, the way I am seeing this, it's that in this is just a dependency we're adding, but we just call it import redirect. Not sure why, but whatever. The main point is that for me it would make sense to add this yeah, to change this to dependency, where we can define like the URI, which is the identifier of dependency, and like the schema would be the implementation where it lives, yeah, where the implementation lives, if that makes sense. um, so yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
uh,
I Yeah,
so
go
yeah,
ahead.
I think it makes sense to just think of this as dependencies, right?
see.
I think it is different. I think
Yeah.
it is something like yarn locking. Oh, sorry, yeah, yarn linking. So it is like linking dependencies. And
But you have the same thing with any other package manifest, like with in JavaScript or Node.js, you have dependencies and you can point this to npm, but you can also point this to the file system, which is like an import redirect. In things like Rust and Cargo Tamil, you can specify, Rust rate, just a version, but you could also specify a local path.
yeah,
So I don't see a need to separate those two.
but main difference between both of them is like we are basically so we are basically yeah, so when we build this, right, we are basically also deploying this. And yeah, so the canonical URI or like production URI would be different than what we have linked.
Hmm. Should we allow that?
But yeah, of course, because if you are working on two different wrapper in same repo, then you may want to like have dependency on another wrapper and like deploy it to some URI. So yeah, I think this possible in our case. So I would say like linking is separate than dependencies in our case at least.
Sure. I'm just trying to
All
figure
right.
out if that's something we need to support with something we specify in the manifest itself.
Could I maybe share my screen just like a minute?
Claro,
Mm,
bro.
to yeah, thank you. Wait, where's my share screen button? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Wait, what was I looking at? I think it's this. So can you see my VS Code?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the way I kind of had it in my brain is that we have the dependencies specified alongside the redirects, right? Maybe something like, name the dependencies like fs, which has its own URI, right? Which is completely separate from the import redirect. And then here in the schema GraphQL, you would basically say like something like this, right? Import whatever into file system from FS. It would find the FS dependency. It would take its URI. If an import redirect exists, it does that redirect. But if this isn't here, it just goes to ENS. Does
Yeah,
that
that's what Mirage is talking about. Yeah.
and that's kind of what feels I don't know. I usually go by feeling, right? But it's what kind of feels like the most natural to work with. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah,
All right.
and it would even help. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I was just thinking like it would even help while locking, right? Because if we just remove this step and like just link it to file system, then yeah, it would create problem while locking once you have deployed this.
Mm, so, huh, I wouldn't agree 100%, and the reason is that I think that when I mean, we don't have like versioning yet when it comes to wrappers, but if a user would define a version in a dependency, then that way we can lock um, things. Yeah, that's a
Uh,
way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, please speak your mind.
I think there's two things. There's locking with versions, and there's lock, which might be even similar to locking, which means resolving a URI. So, like resolving an ENS URI to IPFS, or even a redirect to ENS to IPFS. So I think those are separate concepts, and we can even treat them separately. Like I don't think we need a lock file as part of this feature. Like let's first implement dependencies, see if we need import redirects or not, and then in another feature we can do a lock file.
Agreed.
Yeah, even version lock. You mean like completely exclude version locking from thinking and just think about the dependency system right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm, what I would suggest is like for now, we can keep like import redirects as it is, and see if in future like it makes sense after we complete like rep manifest and yeah, dependency locking, if it makes sense to like completely remove import redirects, because it would be, yeah, it wouldn't be really good experience if we prematurely like remove this and something doesn't work out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think import redirects does not block us or change anything currently for implementing the dependency system. So
And I also find it actually extremely useful, just so that you don't have to rely on anything external if you have everything locally, right?
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, and that makes total sense. But I don't know. In my mind, it's like it's still being a dependency, right? The only thing it's that it is local, right? And we have like our own resolver, which is the system to access to it. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
not strong point here, but yeah, that's only my thought. I feel it's more natural if I have instead of import radix, which we also have radix in our vocabulary in the toolchain. So yeah, it's different. I feel that yeah, to like be clear here and be able to yeah, when it comes to find dependencies, we can you can definitely do that through file system or ENS, and yeah, but yeah, I
I
don't want to like to get on this point. So
I can actually agree with you on the fact that like the import redirects are essentially URI redirects and that like a local config for the Polywrap client would solve that as opposed to a, I don't know, non-local config.
Which we also already have.
Yeah.
You can
So
specify, yeah.
yeah, phasing out import redirects does make sense in that regard. And that can be something that happens. So yeah, actually I completely agree with you, Caesar, on the fact that import redirects will probably be removed at one point.
Though I would raise the question like, are they the same? So
Oh, actually,
import
yeah,
redirects,
you're right.
yeah, they function off of schema, while imports function off of wrap info,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
might be a minor detail, but it could impact a lot of the architecture, I guess. But yeah, I think we digress.
yeah.
Hey guys, sorry, just a really quick interruption. I apologize. We're coming up at the top of the hour in a couple of minutes. Um, Really lively discussion, and please continue if you have time. I am going to stop the recording at this point, and I have to drop off the call. But if you would like to continue this conversation beyond and you have time to stay on, please continue. Otherwise, we'll pick it up again on Friday.
Okay, sounds good. I think we'll just rename the feature for now.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Sound
everyone.
good, Eugene?
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Eugene.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Leo,
guys.
yeah.